today. My name is Vera. I'm a health and wellness instructor from Stonebridge Community Services, and today I'm here at the Port Stanley Fitness Center with a full body workout to challenge your core, to mobilize your hips, and to strengthen your arms. So if you're ready, today I'm using a resistance band, so if you have one nearby, feel free to get that now. And if you don't have one, don't worry about it, you'll still get a great full body workout. We're going to start today seated. So sitting nice and tall on our sitting bones. And then from here we're going to pull our toes right back towards our nose and let's tighten up the front of your legs. You might just get a little stretch sitting here. See how tall you can get. Roll your shoulders back. Imagine that little book on your head. And then we're going to put the rubber band over the heel part of your foot. And we want it over the heels because you're less inclined to have it slip off and get your nose that way. And then we're going to, a fair amount of tension if that's okay for you, as long as your arms aren't cranky. And again, you don't have to use the rubber band at all for this, whatever feels right for you. And then we're going to start by just squeezing the elbows together behind the back, and then just going to release with a nice soft elbow. Sit a little taller on your sitting bones as you bring your elbows all the way back, trying to squeeze your elbows together behind your back, really working those muscles that help with posture, and just soften and release. And we're going to go two more right here with that big squeeze and release. And one more time, big squeeze, squeeze, try to touch those shoulder blades and soften. And now only if it's okay for you, if your arms hurt, keep them close to the body, but if you're okay to bring them parallel to the floor, we're going to bring those thumbs right back to your shoulder. So a little more of a traditional kind of push-up position and release. And open up the chest and shoulder as we draw the elbows back and release. Let's go. 3 more and release. And 2 more, squeeze and release. And just one more big squeeze and release. Perfect. We're going to change our hand positions now. So now we're going to thread that rubber band just on the palms. And how we hold the rubber bands is important because we want to keep the wrists straight. Let's roll the shoulders back one more time. And the first thing we want to do is just see if you can crush your rib cage. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. Again, it's a little movement, but it's a big movement. Those shoulder blades are pretty much just floating around your back, and relax. And when we get that connection, so we're connecting, there's little banana-shaped set of muscles, squeeze and relax. In your ribs called the serratus that help to connect your shoulder blades to your back. So really important movement, little movement, and relax. And one more time, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And now take about half of that energy off. And now the first thing we want to think about is just moving that tailbone. So we're letting the tailbone move forward as we lean back. And then sit up tall on the sitting bones. And then tailbone moves forward. So just some mobilization through that. Tuck the spine. It can get tight if you're sitting a lot during the day. Tailbone forward, lean back. And now we'll make it about our arms. We're going to bring our thumbs to our shoulders and then release. And just bending at the elbow and soften. And 3. And release. And 4. And release. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more, and last one. Now you can stay right here and just make it about your biceps, or we can go for the combo deal. We can let that tailbone move forward as we lean back, and then thumbs to shoulders. And then just gonna put some energy in the inner thighs, press into the heels, up we go onto the sitting bones and release. Tailbone forward, lean back, scooping in through the abs as we bring the thumbs to the shoulders. And then from here, we're just gonna straighten up, sit up, and release. Tailbone's the first thing to move as we round through the back, thumbs to shoulders. Connect inner thighs as we come back up onto our sitting bones. Let's go 2 more. Tailbone, recline to that challenge point, thumbs to the shoulders, and now sitting up tall on the sitting bones as we release, and then very last one. Perfect, and then up and release. Nice job. I just want to get the rotator cuff over here, so we're going to cross that rubber band. And now elbows again, roll the shoulders back so the elbows are at the side of your body. Palms are facing the ceiling now. And the arm movement's just a hitchhiking movement, so waking up the rotator cuff muscles. And let's go 3, and 4, and 1 more, and 5. Totally optional for you if you want to add that tailbone coming forward and reclining. And so now it's a little bigger exercise. We're getting the core involved, so just tailbone forward, leaning back, that double hitchhike movement, and then squeezing inner thighs and sitting up tall. Let's go 2 more. Tailbone, lean back, open, make sure you're breathing, inner thighs and up, invisible book on your head, rounding through that low spine as we open up and release. Perfect. We're going to take the rubber band off now, just place it aside. We're going to use it in a second. I have a lot of people that say they can't do roll-ups, and that's fine. The best place to really get the strength to do a roll-up is with the recline, because we can all get down to the ground. Gravity's going to be here for us. So we're going to look down at our belly button. We're going to let that tailbone come forward. And then with as much control as possible, lower your spine down just bone by bone. We're not in a hurry here. It's going to be low back. It's going to be middle back. And then it's going to be our shoulders. And then our head's the last thing. And then let's let the arms come overhead. We're nice and long here. Let's pull the toes back to the nose. And then just pick those invisible apples overhead. So let that, those tight muscles in your back just lengthen as we reach something just out of reach. 3, and 2, and 1. Perfect. And then when you're ready, we're just going to let the arms come all the way down to the side. And now from here, we're going to let one leg bend. So bend one leg in. And then we're going to pull the toes right back to the nose. Try to stay even through the back of the hip as you bring that leg up, just to knee height. And then point the toe and just imagine dragging it through the water to come down. Press into the heel, up we go, just about knee height, and reach the toe out and down. And press into the heel as we lift and reach the toe as you lower. Try to stay even through those hips and shoulders by using the strength in your core and stabilization. And just 2 more. And reach. And very last one, heel and toe. And then that leg can come all the way down, and we're going to slide it in and reach the other leg out. And now imagine there's a wall there, and you're going to push that heel against the wall, opening up through your hips. And now just a little poke test. Make sure your abs are engaged and awake as we lift that heel up, just knee height. Reach the toe all the way across the room. And then press into that heel and let that leg float up. And then point the toe and just let it fall down with nice control, and heels up and toes down. And 2 more. Heels and reach as you lower. And 1 more time. Heels and toes and relax. Good job. And now let's walk the feet right in towards your shoulders. I try to get bridging in as much as we can because it's one of those really important exercises for our low back. Walk the hands down towards your feet. Feet are almost as wide as your hands. You can touch your heels on the side. Squeeze glutes, and now let's do that straight plank. So we're not going to let the tailbone lead. We're going to try to keep everything nice and solid as we lift up into that bridge position. Try to walk your hands down towards your feet and lengthen. Hold it there and keep breathing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeezing the glutes for 4 and 3 and 2. And the first thing that's going to touch this time is the tailbone. And then cinch the waist, squeeze the glutes, energy in the toes as we lift up into that bridge position. Remember, glutes, glutes, glutes. It's all about protecting that back. 4 and 3 and 2 and lowering down. And one more time, squeeze, lift, and lengthen. Hold it there for 4 and 3 and 2 and down. Nice work. And now from here, we're going to take that rubber band and place it over the heel of our right foot. So a nice wide band. Try to make sure it's not all rumpled up, because if a band's rolled up, there's a lot more probability of it sliding off your foot. And now we want those nice straight wrists. Let's press the elbows into the rib cage. Fair amount of tension here because it's legs and legs are strong. And again, that tension will help protect your back. And now we're just going to reach that leg right across the room. And now just steer that knee in towards your shoulder with control. Keeping the tailbone heavy as we reach that leg out. And then lots of control as we draw that knee in towards your shoulder. And then press, press, press. And release. Now, totally optional. If you have any sort of neck problem, keep your head down on the floor. But if you're comfortable with it, make a little nod like you're saying yes. And as you reach that leg out, you could let the head float up. But make sure you give it a little rest as you draw that knee in and let the head come down. And then again, little double chin, looking at your belly button as you reach that leg right across the room. And then soften it down. And let's keep the head down for this one. We're going to reach that leg all the way out. Try to straighten as much as you can. We're going to draw that straight leg up towards your nose. And remember, we want to push into that rubber band and keep that leg as straight as we can, because we're lengthening the muscles of the back of the leg. As soon as I bend my knee, the muscles, the hamstrings, don't get that great quality stretch that we do if the leg's straight. So nice deep breathing. With every exhale, we try to bring that band in a little more. But again, only to the point of stimulation. There should be no youch, or it shouldn't hurt. There should be no radiating pain going down your leg. It should be, we want to challenge, or we want to lengthen, but we don't want it to hurt. But again, we're thinking about the tailbone being heavy. Make sure that you're not dragging your low back along for the ride here. And now let's soften the knee, and then we'll put the opposite hand out. So the hand that's not holding the rubber band, and then we're going to let that leg fall out to the side. So just a little counterbalance there. And all we need here is gravity. With every exhale, that leg's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier. Nice deep breathing as we just let that leg relax and open up, that hip joint relax, trying to stay heavy through the back of your hips. And one more deep, deep, deep breath here. And then we're going to engage the abs to bring that leg up. And only if there's no hip replacement, we're going to turn that little baby toe towards your opposite ear. Switch hands and see if you can cross the midline. And now we're straightening that leg right out for this stretch. Should get a little bit of neurotension up here. But again, should be nothing radiating. It should be It's a really hard area to stretch. You can't lengthen it, so only stretches like this and rolling are pretty much our options. It's a hard area to get into, and it's really a nice feel-good stretch. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna switch legs. So we're gonna put the rubber band over the other heel. Make sure it's the heel, because remember, if it slips off your toes, it can get you right in the face. That's never good. And elbows to the rib cage, straight wrists as we reach that leg right across the room. So if it's on your left leg now, we're steering that left knee towards your left shoulder. And remember, if you have any sort of neck tension, you want to keep your head on the floor. If you have forward head posture, we want to stay flat on the floor. We don't want to encourage that forward rounding. But if you're fine, you want to work your upper abs a little more, you can let that head float out when you raise your head or lengthen your leg, and then just draw the knee in towards your shoulder. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach, reach, reach. And then again, nice, slow, controlled movement. And again, we're going to reach that leg right across the room. Hold it there. And now let's let the head come down. And we're going to push into the heel as we just draw that leg in towards your chest. So we're just lengthening. And remember, stay heavy through your tailbone. Make sure that you're keeping that low back nice and flat. Engage the abs to help protect that back. And just reach, reach, reach. Remember, with every exhale, we're going to draw that straight leg a little closer. And again, relax your neck and shoulders, draw in those deep, deep breaths. And now we're going to soften the knee. If it's your left leg that's up, we'll put the rubber band in the left hand and bring the other hand to the side for a counterbalance as we let that hip open up by letting the leg fall to the side. Nice deep breathing as we just relax and release. So let that tight hip just relax, let gravity do its work to open that hip up for you. So again, trying to stay heavy through this hip, so we're trying not to let that leg pull us off the floor. Nice deep, deep breathing. Just exhale, breathe into remember, breathe in through the nose, into the back of the ribs, and then feel those abs just tighten up as you exhale. And with the next exhale, we're going to engage the abs to lift that heavy leg up, and now we want to straighten that leg right out, bring that little baby toe towards your opposite ear. We're going to switch hands with the rubber band and just drag it across that midline. Nice deep, deep breathing as we hold here. A couple more deep breaths. Just want to take time to really enjoy that stretch. Stretching is all about that feel good, feeling those joints being nice and free to move. And then when you're ready, back to the center, and we'll undo. And now let's roll over to our side. And we'll start with the knees bent, but we're going to straighten that top leg right out. And remember, lengthen through that top hip so that you're as long as you can be through your spine. Your spine should be nice and straight. We don't want it to be curved when we're working out. And remember also, we don't want to lift the leg high enough that we have to curve that spine. We want to be able to keep that spine nice and still and protect it as we lift and lower that leg. So think about pushing that heel right across the room. Remember, nice and tight, especially below your belly button. And relax. We're trying to keep the knees and toes facing forward as we lift and lower. Let's go 3 more. And 2 more. And very last one. Good job. Give that knee a hug. And then when you're ready, ready, we're going to straighten that bottom leg all the way out. Let that top leg just fall in behind. We're going to push into the heel. Try to make sure the seam of your pants is facing the ceiling, your knees facing forward, the foot's as flat as it can be as we lift and lower, reaching into that heel to lift and lower. Relax the neck. 3 and 4. Let's go 4 more. 4 more. 3 more. Just 2 more. And very last one. Well done. From here, let's roll all the way over to the other side. Want to make sure that we're even. And remember, if it's ever uncomfortable for you to put your hand up here under your head, make sure you have a pillow nearby. We're going to reach that top leg right across the room, knee and toes facing forward, and just lifting and lowering with control, and 2. But take a rest when you need to, and 3, and release, and 4, and release, and 5, and release, and 6, just 2 more, 7, and very last one. Nice work. We'll give that knee a hug. And then we're going to reach that top leg out, press into the heel, pull the toes back, and with control, lower down. We're going to let that leg just float up and down. And 2, and down. And 3, and down. And 4. And we've just got 4 to go. 3 more, you're almost there. 2 more. And very last one. Good job, relax. From here, let's come all the way up to seated. And I'm just going to get that rubber band. And we're going to sit on the rubber band so that almost all that rubber band's over to one side. If you don't have a rubber band nearby, feel free to grab a water bottle or a lightweight. Roll the shoulders back, showing off the necklace or tie, and we're just going to lift up toward it, whatever your comfort zone is, and down. Try to stay even on the sitting bones as you lift and lower. And 3, and release. Let's go 3 more, so working those muscles that really help support and protect your shoulder. 2 more. And very last one. Perfect. We're going to bring that rubber band and just place it into that other hand. And palms are facing the ceiling, shoulders are back, a little hitchhiking. And 2. And 3. So really important exercise for that rotator cuff, that external rotation. Let's go 5, 6, 2 more, 7, 1 more, and 8. Perfect. Slide that rubber band all the way over to the other side. Thumbs facing the ceiling, shoulders rolled back, soft elbows as we lift and lower, and 2, and release, and 3, and release. Just 3 more. You'll find that the muscles tire quickly because those little muscles of the rotator cuff are teeny tiny muscles. They fatigue quick, so we won't do a whole ton of reps. This one, the elbow's bent, so it's nice and safe, and it's really one of the most important exercises you can do for that shoulder stability. So we'll do a few more of those. And 4, and 5, 5 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, and just 2, and 1 to go. Perfect. Okay, one more time. Getting our sit to stand in. Knuckles are facing the ceiling, hands are considerably wider. Imagine there's duct tape from your ribs to your hips and your front so that as we raise the arms overhead, we avoid arching that back. If there's a painful spot, make sure you stop, but if your arms are free and you can go over, that's okay too, so whatever works for you. One more time, just that up and over. Perfecto, and now we're gonna let that rubber band come aside. I'm gonna bring one hand behind my back and just gently pull that wrist down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders back. And then a little bit of a double chin, and we're gonna just, if you're holding your right hand, we're gonna let that ear tip over to the left. Nice deep, deep breath, and vice versa. If you're holding the left, we just go over to the right. And just give that tight neck a chance to relax. We hold all that tension in our neck. We need to give those muscles a chance to relax and release. And same thing on the other side, just gonna grab onto that wrist, keep that double chin as you tip the ear away from that hand that you're holding on to. Nice deep breathing as you hold it here. And nice deep breaths in through your nose. And we're almost done. Let's just take one hand up to our shoulder. Think about opening up between the ribs and the hips on that side and all the way up and over. If you want to put your hand down for a little extra support, that's fine. And relax. Same thing on the other side, hand on the shoulder. Think of that area between the ribs and the hips and reach it up. I'm so glad you could be here with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the workout. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take a bow. Good job.